All right, everybody, we're here with a battle report. I haven't been here in a while, a long time. I've been playing Sisters for a hot minute, but I've not done a battle report. I've been so busy getting the National Tabletop League and everything up and running. Huge shout out to the Army Painter for supporting that. We're just coming off of the Hot DreamHack Invitational, getting ready for this quote unquote new season here with all the new rules, all the new goodies. Don't mind my unfinished Sisters. It hurts my soul to put this on camera. I've basically been playing all of the Penton engines and Penton host stuff for like the past 6 months. And I didn't want to bring that onto the table right now. That list basically got nerfed by like 500 points. It's still very good. We'll show that another time. But I wanted to try something different with the Bringer of Flames so it doesn't have everything fully ready to go and painted that I'm used to playing. So let's go over this. It is Bringer of Flames. We have Vol's unit doing Vol things. We have 3 emulators. They will all be running flamers. I know a lot of people will probably run these with Meltas, but I am just a flamer guru. And because I have less Penton engines than normal, I wanted my flamers to stay in there. 2 castigators. You've got the Triumph. Everyone can say she's overpriced. She's too much. She's just so good. Every time I've played so far without her, without the extra movement she brings, it's just not worth it. You want her movement in every detachment so much always. And if nobody's really seen my army, a lot of my sisters, I'm trying to convert them to be samurais. So you see like my Triumph there is starting to get done. That's why she's not done yet. And I got my Seraphim over here with these, right? So yeah. We got the cherry blossoms going on, everything. So we've got a unit of Seraphim. We've got 2 single mortifiers, and we have 3 Penton engines. Then we have 2 Dominion squads, which are the red ones, and then we've got a Battle Sisters. I've got them different colors so that it's easy to see once we split them up. They will all go into emulators. They will all split up into separate squads. So like that's the list. It is a lot less stuff than you're used to. This list went up about 250 points with all the updates. So that's kind of the change. And then the Penton one is about 500 points. So we'll kind of see how this does in these missions and everything. And learn a lot of the new cool rules and whatnot. So let's go see what Price is bringing with his GSC.
Hey everybody, this is Price here with a returning match. Brad and I have squared off several times on the channel. So bringing back the Genestealer cult. Obviously we just got a new codex, so this is kind of an exhibition match. We're going to be showing off the Xenocreed Congregation. So this army focuses on all of the hybrids. This is a hybrid army, the Acolytes, the Neophytes, the Metamorphs. So got to knock the dust off a lot of these models. Haven't seen Metamorphs on the table for a while. And bringing a little bit of everything and then some support elements. Like Brad, some of these models aren't necessarily ready for the tabletop, but I realized that really they're not that far away. Maybe this Locust here needs a little paint. A couple other guys need some touch up here and there. Also, we've kind of combined a couple of hive fleets here, which is why the bases are different. But let's get right to it. Again, the Xenocreed Congregation. So we got a bunch of characters in here, and we got this Sanctus who's standing in for, I'm taking the melee guy, not the sniper rifle. That guy has a no Overwatch ability, and he's pretty good going into, small characters. So taking him, lone ops. We got a Clamavis here. He's going to be rocking with a unit of Neophytes. These guys changed a lot. They were really the hammer in the last edition, where you could take all the heavy weapons. Now they're kind of box locked. So we got a mining laser, we got a seismic cannon, we got a grenade launcher, and we got a Weber. So 10-man squad. These guys now, they have sticky objective instead of getting the command points back on a 4+. So got some changes here. So we're going to be operating those guys a little different. So we're going to put the Clamavis in here. Maybe start these guys out on an objective and then, move them around. Moving over into our Acolytes. So got a 5-man squad here of demos. So this is another change to the codex where they split these guys up. You've got your close combat guys, and then you got your shooty guys. So rocking hand flamers here. And then, so we got this 5-man squad with 2 demo charges. We got a 10-man squad here with 4 demo charges led by a Primus. This guy, I've got 3 enhancements in this detachment. This Primus is going to be rocking one of them. Actually, trying to decide which one we're going to join this to. So we'll come back to it, but it's going to be the one +1 to hit, +1 to wound. Either going to be on this guy or it's going to be on the other guy. But anyway, 10-man squad here. Then we got a 5-man squad. Brought a second Clamavis, just because these guys now, their special ability is they re-roll wounds. And so having these guys camp out on objectives, it's just nice to maybe zone out your opponent. If they get too close, then you can, hit them with the bombs, get away, that kind of stuff. So just really trying to go for a little bit of board control. Now moving on, we got a 10-man squad of fighty guys. So the change to the fighty guys are that they now can take 6 heavy weapons in the squad. We're used to only take 4. So we've got a 10-man squad here led by a Primus. Then we've got another 10-man squad here. And you see these weapons are different, but now they're all basically count as heavy mining weapons. So another 10-man squad led by the Locust. The Locust gives a fight first ability. So he's a great little character. And then moving on to the Metamorphs. So Metamorphs are going to be led. These guys got kind of a big glow up in this edition. So they come standard with a 5-up Feel No Pain. But if they're led by an Icon Ward, they go to a 4-up Feel No Pain. And so we got 10-man squads, 4-up Feel No Pain. Everybody's got banners, you notice. Those banners allow you to bring back guys each command phase. So the idea is these fighting units that put out 30 attacks on the charge, strength 5 -1, 2 damage. You can boost that using combinations with your Ridge Runners, which is another change to this edition. These units are just annoying enough and hit just hard enough. And in this particular detachment where you can advance and charge, which I've taken one of the enhancements to allow us to advance and charge, Incendiary Inspiration, I believe that one's called. And then the other one is going to be the Deeds That Speak to the Masses. And that's going to be on this guy. And it's going to allow me to re-roll that Cult Ambush. So each time one of these battle line units gets destroyed, I can re-roll that roll as long as this guy's on the table. So definitely looking forward to seeing how all of this combos together. We got some advance and charge. We got some +1 to hit, +1 to wound. We got additional attacks, all kinds of things going on here. Now, finishing this out, we got 2 solo Ridge Runners. These guys are going to have the mortars on top of them. And so their ability now stacks where if you get hit by one of their guns and when they shoot, you pick one unit and then the rest of the army gets +1 AP against that. And now it lasts through the end of the turn. So that's really good for all of these fighting units. And then over here, 2 Goliath trucks. Goliath trucks, they got a point reduction. They got lots of fire ports. Fire ports aren't really going to come into play in this particular setup. But if you disembark from one of these, you get to re-roll all your wounds. So these acolytes, which get that ability, if you're standing on an objective, they re-roll all wounds to their shooting weapons or re-roll 1s to wounds all the time. If your opponent has decided not to be on an objective, you can load up in one of these, hop out, and then get all those re-roll wounds. Also, the Metamorphs have hand flamers. So that's 10d6 strength 3 hand flamers. That now becomes re-rolling wounds, a lot of saves your opponent's going to have to make. And it could be AP1, and it could be Norse cover because you set it up with one of your Ridge Runners. A lot of little combinations here. Last but certainly not least, 2 units of Pure Strains. Why? Because these guys are cheap, they're semi-durable, they infiltrate, they advance and charge, they kind of blend in with the theme, but they give some of that forward screen and push. And if you deploy your Primus on the table, you can still pick those guys up and move them to safety before first turn. So that's it. That's everything. We're excited. I feel like this is going to be a slugfest.
All right, so let's see what mission and everything we've got going on here. So we've got Burden of Trust. This is a new one. So how this is going to work is your home objective scores nothing for you, and you're going to get 4 for the ones in no man's land. And then at the end of your turn, you can say, hey, I'm going to guard this objective. It's not an action or anything, so you can still shoot, you can be fighting, you can be in combat, it's no action. You're going to guard the objective, and then if you're alive in your next command phase, you get an extra 2 points for holding it. So you kind of want like tankier, tougher things to be alive on objectives, force your opponent to try to kill them. We're playing Prepared Positions, which is battle line units can heroically intervene for 0 CP, and they can go to ground for 0 CP. I believe that's what this says. Yes, go to ground. So heroic was changed to 1 CP. Now I'm going to do it for 0. Price does have a lot of battle line units, so that's something to consider if I'm charging him. I don't have a lot of units that are going to charge him necessarily, but it is something to consider of if Vol goes in or something, he can heroic. My units heroicing him doesn't seem like it's really going to happen. And we're playing on Search and Destroy. So this is table layout 3. This is one of the new GW table layouts. I'll kind of give you guys a rundown on what's being deployed here. So he's put these guys here, and this is before his redeploys. He's doing this to stop a lot of my scouts that way and that way. So what I've done is I've put my Dominions right here so that if he does come up right here, I'm kind of protected this way. Obviously, you can redeploy to the middle. If he does that, so be it. I'm so fast with this army. I don't really have to be too close. Like these tanks just casually kind of go 20 inches a lot of the times. So I'm just there for the angles. This board is, it's got a lot of closed off pockets. It's kind of neat. There is a nice little X through the middle right here for a shooting lane. And then there's kind of another X on this path for a shooting lane. A lot of the other things are kind of closed off. Like there's a little shooting lane here, but they're kind of easy to avoid. The other lanes are there, but they're not the worst. This is a really cool pocket on this. I love this for deploying. This is going to be crazy for combat armies. And then, yeah, that's just my stuff there. And then I'll hand this over to Price. Price, you can kind of go over what you've got deployed and what you're thinking.
Yeah, so like Brad said, so I basically got the pure strains here, holding back in, keeping those scout moves. Big change, obviously, a lot of armies, they change the redeploy. Genestealer Cult always has redeploy before you know who first turn is. But I've noticed a lot of other units are that's a thing. So obviously check your Army FAQ and errata to see if that affects you. But got these guys here, probably going to pull them back. I just don't want to sacrifice them. Maybe I'll put them in reserve, bring them in for mission play. Over here, we've got the 10-man unit of Metamorphs. They're hiding out here with the Advance and Charge Relic. Just got a huge threat range right here. So being able to just bounce out of this truck, I'm fairly protected from all of his guns at this point. In the middle, we've got the Fights First squad hiding out in this truck. Also, same thing. So I'm staging in case Brad goes first and decides to go for that middle objective. I can reach out and say hello. I've got my bomb squad hiding back here. This is the one with the +1 to hit and a wound relic if I'm going against a character unit. Now, Vol is really my only character unit other than the Triumph of St. Catherine. So, you know, kind of hold these guys, but they're standing by to hop in this truck necessarily if you know, once that truck gets vacated. Back here, like Brad said, holding this doesn't really do a lot for me, but it does give me that 4+ CP reroll. So I can kind of zone this out and zone out the back of the board with the Clamavis there. So really makes it hard for him to come back here for any reason. Then I'm just hiding back here with a unit of Metamorphs. They can move up into the pocket, hop in that truck maybe, or in the other truck, depending upon how it goes. But this is the squad that's going to be rolling to bring back my Cult Ambush units. So I want to try to keep these guys protected for late game. Got the 2 Ridge Runners back here just hanging out. I infiltrated over here with this guy. Not really sure what to do with him, but just in case Brad gets some mission play early on, maybe this kind of zones out this area. Him being a lone op, he's just outside of range of Brad being able to get into up on him. So we're going to turn it back over and then get ready for this redeploys and first turn. All right, guys. So in the redeploy, I pulled those pure strains that were here, pulled them back here to keep them safe. Threat range of this army is ridiculous. Those guys can move up way up here. This thing can move way up here. I actually want Brad to come a little bit closer to me, so kind of pull back to open up the center. Over here, I drew Established Locus and no prisoners, and very low probability I was going to kill something. So at the end of the turn, I dropped no prisoners. But basically, I just kind of shuffled over here. Still stayed on this objective so I can, you know, roll for CP next turn. Kept this unit intact. Brad doesn't have an easy way to get to me. Maybe he's got a long charge if he wants to come through here with those penitent engines, but I'm kind of okay with that because, you know, I've got a lot here that can counter it and get into him. And then basically I just scouted this little truck over here and, preparing, did some pot shots over at this Battle Sister squad. I left that token there because the -1 to the AP, but that goes away at the end of my turn. So not a lot going on here. Now getting ready for Brad's turn.
All right, so this is the end of turn 1, the end of the Sisters' turn. I spent my 6. I had a 5 here and I had 2 1s. I got the 5 from them being on the objective here. That's always a nice little buff. This is now stickied as well, but I'm staying back here to screen this. Castigator's just moving up here. We're just moving up. They're going to set up. If he comes this way, I can kind of reactive move and make his charges kind of awkward here to where he can't really touch too much of this stuff, and he has to just kind of kill them. So that's kind of set up for that. This is just kind of protecting Vol in this line here to where he's got to like full commit. I've got him in the middle. I pulled area denial. So I'm only going to get baby area denial because he's got that one little chump there in the corner. So he's within 6 inches. I do have 2d6 flamers that are twin linked here. So if he comes out and he wants to go this way, it's a possibility he's going to have to eat an Overwatch. And, that could be in between 3 and 5 dead guys. So it just depends on how the rolls go. We just kind of moved up, shifted here. We got a really good advance over here for this guy. So he's threatening next turn going either forward up the middle or this outside lane here to just kind of shoot down either of these X's. We're just on the objective right here with these guys. They can reactive move on there as well to try and hold that if he comes out with anything. So we're just kind of staging all here. And then my Penton engine. So I auto advanced in 6. So he went 17 inches to here. And luckily I had a 5. I needed a 6-inch charge. So I make that charge. He heroic with these guys, hopefully trying to kill him because he wants to be able to take these guys out and go this way next turn. And now I only took 1 wound. So I swung into these guys hoping I would kill more of them. I killed 1. He swung back at me. I only took 1 damage. I did have to armor contempt this. So that is what it is. And I now have these guys tied up really awkwardly here where if they want to come out, they're going to have a lot of movement they have to kind of cover. So it's really hard for them to try to traverse this now. And then these guys are just stuck in combat. So they're not pushing me at all either. So yes, that worked out in my favor extremely well. Very lucky. So I picked up cleanse and area denial. So I cleansed on 2 objectives and area denial. So I got 6 points total on the secondaries. We're going to go into the next turn. Price holds nothing on the primary because it's only the centers. It's not the back one. And then we will see what objectives he pulls and what he does.
All right, guys. So listen, we're saving a little bit of time. We just rolled out a bunch of charges. We had a unit of pure strains that were back here. They shot over here. And then they rolled it wasn't a 10. It was like an 8.
Yeah.
They moved in here to get these guys. They're hoping to kill them and pile into these tanks. In here, these guys disembarked, moved up, getting ready to charge this because I pulled area denial. I shot this to give it the -1 AP so that all of my weapons here, this is kind of overkill going into this, but like Brad said, it's 5 points.
Yeah.
So, and hopefully the squad can come back. Maybe I'm not sure. But anyway, I'm going to go get this guy. And then the squad that was here hopped in. Back here was back behind the building was the Metamorph squad that rolls the CP, rolls to get the Cult Ambush back. So, the detachment is reroll advance, reroll charges. And so first time I rolled a 3 on their advance to try and move up and get through this building, but then I rerolled it into a 6. So this detachment moves a lot faster than you think it does, similar to Brad's where he can advance and shoot. This one, I've re-rolled a lot. Re-rolled this charge to get more distance. Tried, this one I can't re-roll because it's pure strains. But, it's just a good detachment overall. And then on this side, what we did was we did a bunch of complicated measuring around this tank. Brad did a great job with this. But I got out and then I rolled my advance. I rolled a 5 and then I rolled an 8 on the charge. And so basically I've set it up so I can take this objective. I can put some damage on this tank. He's going to flame me back. It's going to hurt. But I've taken this objective. Hopefully I can pile into those Dominion squad over there and pick those girls up, at least partially. and just kind of push Brad back and see how much move blocking I can do for this next turn. So here we go. We're going to start rolling out some.
So these guys have to move still.
These guys have not moved, so I'm going to move them 7 real quick.
And basically, he came in over here, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend 1 to heroic. This 1 CP heroic is just kind of crazy, so I'm going to spend 1 to do that. And because it's the charge phase, so I could either roll 2 and I could go for a 5, or I could spend a 6. I'm probably just going to roll it, and let's hope that I actually can make this, and I don't completely jack it up. I don't really want to use my 6 on this. It would be really nice to go into there, because then if he kills him, some guys have to stay in contact with him. I might be able to kill them, might free this up, could just flame. It can just help stuff. I think it's worth getting the damage in on his turn. So we'll see what happens there, and then we'll come back after all the damage is done. Okay, so the turn is over here. We have killed them. These guys did come back?
No.
No, so they did not come back. Killed the Ridge Runner. Killed the guys in the middle. They came back. Killed the 5-man that was here. They came back. Killed the whole squad that was over here. They came back. So that's kind of where we're at. I get my extend and I get my full engage. Putting him on 0 primary again. It just looks like this is going to be a 0 primary game. I need to move these guys 6 inches still. They did what? 3 damage to him? 4 damage to him? It's pretty good. I'll take that. So yeah, that's just where we are. We're being a little aggressive now. He just got all 3 squads back. I don't know. That just seems bad for me. So we'll see what he pulls here. All right, so the bottom of this turn, I kind of just ran everything at him. So we advanced all the way up here. We killed the blip, killed the guys on the objective. I had Secure No Man's Land, so I pulled that off, and I got Locusts, which these guys are doing here. They're also guarding this objective. We just ran up all the way here. He killed a blip. He killed a blip. These guys, this advanced up to 20 inches. They jumped out afterwards, killed a blip over there. Vol missed a charge right here. There's a lot of jankiness right now with like rotating and overhanging and stuff that we're probably gonna have to do a video on. I'm sure other people do as well to make charges a lot less and rotating. It is wonky. So killed a bunch of blips, killed the couple small things over here, killed the trucks, killed everything in the middle, and we're just full pressing him. We're just full pressing him at this moment. So he had to, he moved a blip backwards and came in right here.
Brought this.
And then he had these guys come in wholly within 9 inches of the board edge for CP because I killed all the blips. These guys came out of the truck, and I failed my charge onto there. I needed an 8, rolled a 7. So that's where we're at. So he's going to kind of come at me. He's going to punch some stuff, shoot some stuff, kill some stuff. Let's see what he pulls. All right. So what we did here is we got assassinated and bring it down. We were able to kill the characters, cleared this out here. Castigator advanced to go 19 inches, got line of sight on this. Ridge Runner picked it up. We didn't quite kill this squad here, but we picked this one up. This squad came back. This squad did not come back. So you can kind of see what he's got. Yeah, you can kind of see what he's got over here. These guys came in a blip. He's got another blip that he's putting down, and then this is here. So let's see what he draws, what he pushes on the next turn. All right, so we're coming towards the end of the game here, just to kind of wrap it up. So this is going into the bottom of 5. I pulled Overwhelming and Defend Stronghold. So he picked a secret mission to put a battle line unit here. It's kind of obvious that he's going to pick that, so I'm just going to leave it fully screened out so he can't get a secret mission. I'm going to get Defend Stronghold. I'm going to get Overwhelming Force by killing these 2 units right here. I can basically just shoot with this, go with these guys. These guys all are dying in the combat phase. We just haven't pulled them yet. So Vol is free there. You can come over here to help clean all this up. So we're going to get my Overwhelming. We're going to hold all of the primary. We're going to guard this, guard that. We can't guard this because we don't control it. So we will pick up 6, 6, and 4 for 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 points on the primary. So that's kind of how the game is going to wrap up. Overall, the sisters are very, very fast. I mean, I didn't lose a lot of stuff, and I just kept pushing forward and forward and forward. Like, this is before I moved this turn, right? I mean, I could get Overwhelming here too. Like, this can come all the way to here. This stuff can come either all the way this way or that way. Like, they just move so fast. with the Triumph and being able to advance and shoot and everything. He failed to kill this last turn as well, so this kind of just staying alive on 1 wound for 2 turns was not ideal. Sisters are very, very good. They are still very good. Points went up a lot. It is warranted. Their rules are very good. Their data sheets are very good. On the GSC side, they came back a lot. Like from my opinion, like the amount that he rolled to keep having guys come back was really, really crazy. They just didn't have the punch up to deal with tanks and stuff like that. Like even with hitting on 2s and having extra attacks, it just wasn't really there. Even the anti-vehicle stuff, it just wasn't punching up enough. But it was definitely very annoying, and I can see into certain armies where they can't deal with that. It being hard. Like I'm fast enough to destroy all the blips. If I don't do that, he has 3 more units, though, in the middle of the table here. So it could get very annoying. He pinned me in my corner for 2 turns, and that's kind of been my experience with Sisters so far. Is they kind of just get pinned in their corner for a couple turns, and they push out on 3, 4, and 5, and they just table the opponent. So overall, great game. Like, comment, subscribe, do all the fun things, and we will see you on the next one.